Hello, friends. Welcome to another insightful session of Medicircle, where we are committed to creating a place full of support, kindness, and also valuable healthcare knowledge. Here we are today having another interesting round of healthcare pharma series. Like we see the landscape of Indian pharmaceutical market appears to be transforming. Generic drugs that contain the same active ingredients as their branded counterparts, but now come at a lower cost, and also they are gaining significant traction among Indian patients, bolstered by different government initiatives from time to time. The generic division of pharma companies currently enjoys a 20% of volume and at least 5 to 6% share in the Indian pharmacy market and is growing around 500 BPS more than its branded counterparts. Isn't that interesting? So here I am, Smita Kumar, your friend and host for your interactive live session with of Healthcare Pharma series. Today we have Dr. Sujit Paul, the Group CEO of Zota Healthcare, Davaindia with us. Davaindia is a it's an abiding initiative of Zota Healthcare Limited, which revolutionized the Indian healthcare scenario by providing high quality generic machines that also at a very low cost. Hi, Dr. Sujit Paul. Welcome to Medicircle Healthcare Pharma
Thank
series.
you, Smita. Hello. Yeah. Thank you so much. Nice speaking to you always.
You're most welcome, Dr. Sujit. So let's begin with can you enlighten our viewers about Dava India and what purpose it is serving?
Davaindia is a chain of retail generic pharmacy where the core purpose and the mission for Davaindia is to ensure that we offer very high quality, affordable medicines, health and wellness items. And with this mission, we are marching very fast in rural and urban India, where we've been understanding the pain of the Indian patients and consumers for the high cost of medications that they undergo. I think we are extremely spearheading to offer very, very high quality affordable medicines to them.
Yeah, that's actually the need of the hour because more and more, we are seeing patients with chronic diseases. Definitely, we need to have a good solution for it. As we talk about Dava India, like it is promoting generic drugs. So, along with that, my question, like, what are the offerings that other retail pharmacies are not providing that Dava India is offering, and why would I choose to visit a Dava India store over other generic medicine stores?
Right. So the first part of your question was, what is it that is different from other retail pharmacy chains?
Yes.
Well, most of the other retail pharmacy chains are branded stores where the cost of medications are extremely, extremely high. But our pharmacy chain is a 100% generic pharmacy chain, and where the cost of medications are very, very affordable. However, even if you compare from a couple of other generic players in the market, we are still unique because our pharmacy, if you go to any of the Davaindia pharmacy, you will find all our products are from Davaindia. So we are into 100% private label. So what it means is that you get a full range of products for almost all the therapeutic segments, which are all our own products, where there is a huge consistency on quality.
And also, yes, that's one thing that you have all your products that Davaindia is promoting across, especially the masses which are looking for an affordable solution. I think affordability is one of the prime concerns if we talk
Yes.
about healthcare for all initiative.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Whereas people don't have so much amount of money in India. Where if you go to the villages, you can clearly understand that even today people wear Hawaii chappal. They can't even afford a proper footwear. So I think it's extremely important that you play a pivotal role towards ensuring that India gets good quality affordable medicines.
Definitely. And concerning the generic medicines, so how do you think the Indian population is taking to it? Also, because see, there is definitely one concern that if the counterpart is so highly priced, so why these generic medicines are, because see, definitely manufacturing other things take a thing, but definitely there is a concern among the patients that whether these would be affected or effective or not. So what do you feel would be the way forward, keeping in mind the conflicting interests of stakeholders in this ecosystem? Because we have at one side big pharmaceutical giants, and we have on another side companies like Dava India having also supported by government initiatives to have our own brands, which is definitely going to help us out in the long run. So what's your take on that?
Yes. Yes. So it takes time for change. Any change takes time. You remember those days, when all of us had those landline telephones in our home, and those were very close to our heart, and we used to never forego those landline phones, even when we had mobiles. You remember those days when we used to all go to the tailor, and we used to take a token, and we used to stand, and we used to collect the money from the tailor machines. It does takes time, and especially when you operate in this kind of genre, when you have large giants playing in the game. But we are doing all that we can do to ensure that we change the mindsets of people. We are going to that level that we are doing road shows, we are doing multiple activities, I would say. Means I think there's a series of activities that Davaindia is doing to make India understand and explain to them why it is important for that shift. Because if shifts have happened in US, if shifts have happened in Europe, in all advanced countries, it's important that our people to understand, and the government of India is really working hard on working from their end as well. So there is a series of activities that we are doing in the rural colleges, rural and as well as the urban. We are going to the panchayats, the gram panchayats, the colleges, the universities, the schools, talking to children, making them understand what is generic medicine. To that level, we are going. So I think there's means apart from the traditional movement of ATL and BTL and televisions and radios, to that level of ground is what we are doing. So I think it's a very, very hard work that is actually going through. It's easier said on the screen when you sit in an air-conditioned room, but when you really go to that down level village and work with those villagers, work with those gram panchayats, work with those women, you can clearly understand that the toil that goes into it. We are speaking to schools of children of 11 and 12. We are speaking to the youngsters to make them understand what generic medicine is all about. We are talking to the education institutes, corporate houses, everything possible. So I think there's a huge action which is going on, and I'm sure India would definitely see the change, and we are already seeing the change, definitely.
Yes, sure. I think as you say, that change is very difficult. Whenever we switch to another system, whenever something new is coming, some kind of apprehension is there. Also, resistance is there. But yes, change is inevitable also. As the world around us is constantly evolving, India is also evolving with its new technologies, new services, and new products. If you talk about like the recent row over Maldives and Lakshadweep, so we have such a diverse and magnificent country like India.
Yes.
So we have solutions for all. Definitely, it would take some time, but even I think here the role of media is also very, very important.
And I must thank you and many others who are really working hand in hand with us, because if someone who don't have money can only understand the pain if their children is undergoing fever, their children is undergoing stomach pain, and they can't afford high expensive medicines. Only then people will understand the value of it.
Definitely. So I think it's very, very utmost important for media houses like us to promote such products, because at the end of the day, affordability, where in India where availability and of course availability and affordability is definitely an issue. Affordability always comes first, because there are so many patients who actually don't continue these drugs or their medicines just because they are below the poverty line, or like they are not able to afford these kind of medicines. So I think definitely the change would come where doctors can also talk about it.
Not only that, Smita, if you see the entire Indian ecosystem, even if you see a middle class family earning some 15,000-20,000 rupees a month, if they have chronic patients at their home, it could be anything: diabetic, peds, nephro, gastro, cardio, it could be anything. From where can they spend that 3, 4, 5,000 rupees every month? There is where if the bill value comes to 1,500 rupees, 1,500 rupees, then there is substantial saving which they can either pay for the school fees of their children, for their groceries. And these things have to be understood and felt. If you don't feel the pain of them, you cannot, get into that.
Sure. And Dr. Sujit, let's talk about the cultural challenges that you might be witnessing in this rapid scaling up of an organization like Zota Healthcare, and how you try to overcome them?
I think over the years, I have been transforming organizations over various organizations, and I've been part of this transformation management, and it is always a challenge, when you work with Indian family-driven organizations and get into the transformation because of the mindset that goes through. But I think by the grace of all, I think we are driving it well. But we are, in terms of cultural shift, you have to work with the existing culture, existing people, but you also have to imbibe fresh blood in that. But more so, what I have always done earlier and what I'm doing out here as well is that we are trying to build a true value. And once you build a true value, then financial numbers are the cascading effects of the value. So we are trying to build a culture right from the top to the last mile of the store, so that the entire ecosystem operates and understands the culture. And that is where I myself speak consistently till the last mile as much as I can, through technology, of course, so that the value system that I'm trying to drive gets percolated well down till the last mile level. And that's what the end consumers and patients also get benefited out of that.
Talking about one more fact, that India is like the largest exporter of generic medicines in the world. But yes, definitely in India itself, it's a little bit of challenge to make the people understand, and have a paradigm shift for buying these kinds of drugs rather than, generic drugs. So these medicines, again, they have got low cost of production and also research and testing. India's role is immense in lowering the healthcare cost, also in developed countries like the US and the UK. So I think definitely you're leading such a company where there might be a lot of good plans and goals where, and these needs to be there aligned with the interests of the Indian population. So what are the future expansion plans of Davaindia for the upcoming financial year?
Well, as an organization, we are expanding very fast. Now, as I speak, we are present all across the country, east, west, north, and south, with our own stores, with franchisee stores, and we are coming up with multiple different models so that the penetration is much more faster and steeper. The last calendar year have been extremely good for us, and the numbers have also shown for us good. And it is all because, for India at a large, we are trying to develop a multi-model business into the pharma retail so that it can actually penetrate like a cobweb the last mile to ensure that every Indian can actually get a good quality Davaindia product.
So what's your take on pharmacies, especially retail stores in general, morphing into experiential centers?
Smita, please understand, in India, we cannot be hypocrites. When people cannot, or when people don't have enough food to eat, it's not the right time for a pharmacy to get into an experiential center movement. These are good words to listen in retail genre. These are good words for corporates to talk that, we are building a experiential center store. But what experiential center? You need medicines. You need a good store which should have a proper air-conditioned environment for the medicine efficacies. You need a proper pharmacist to dispense. I know chains don't have that. You need the basic hygiene of the store. Once India matures to that level, then those stores comes in. We are not in that stage, where India have moved to that level. We're in that stage where India first needs to absorb generic as a concept. Once they absorb generic as a concept, once they can afford medicines, then experiential center comes in action. Who will experience you? To experience, you need money. So what my objective is very, very focused. My objective is to ensure that we have a good penetration of stores. We have multiple different models to ensure that the end consumer or patient gets the good quality medicines, good quality healthcare products. At this point of time, Davaindia as a brand is not operating on a high-end experiential center model. At this point of time, Davaindia is only operating to ensure that they cater to the people who need the products.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sujit Paul, especially as you said that today the concern is definitely to reach to more and more people so that they can afford generic medicines and get cured and
Yes,
eventually be healthy and safe. Thank you so much,
yes.
Dr. Paul, for joining us today for this healthcare pharma series. We wish you
Thank you so
all
much.
the best. And for all your
I
future
wish you a
endeavors,
very
and
happy New
we
Year.
wish that Dava India is reaching to the remotest bends of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.